Hi, and we are back. This is Kaiology, Mann on UrbanNationRadio.com. We are broadcasting live today at Truth Bookstore. We're actually down in the community room of knowledge at Truth Bookstore. So if you are in the area, make sure you come by and hang out with us. I have here with me Professor Diane M. Lockett. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me. This is a pleasure.
Thank you. If you guys don't know, I know you know. I know you know. I met you a couple, matter of fact, I think in November at one of my clients' book launch. And that was David Watkins. I didn't meet you,
Oh,
but I saw you there, and you were
yes.
talking about your book then. So
Hmm.
I am honored how life has come full circle, and now I'm sitting here and I'm getting to interview you. That's awesome for
It's a
me.
small world,
It's a
isn't it?
small world. Well, I'm going to give you guys a little bit about Professor Diane M. Lockett. She is the co-author of Mission Unstoppable with Les Brown, one of my favorites. And I know you guys, if you watch anything that I do, I'm always like sharing and retweeting all of his quotes. So you guys know who that is. And Dr. George Frazier as well. You also do voiceovers. You also do public speaking, and you're the VP of the Detroit Writers Guild.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes.
Talk to us a little bit about the Detroit Writers Guild.
Well, if you've got a book inside of you and you need some help and guidance as to getting that book to come forth, that's what we do. We meet the second Saturday of each month, and you can go to our website, www.detroitwritersguild.com, and find out what we're all about. And we're all about helping writers to spring forth.
Awesome. Now, I was told by your son that you and her son is Lonray Lee.
Lonray M. Lee.
Okay, Lonray M. Lee. And he told me that you two were the first mother son book in history. Like you wrote the first book together.
Well, we call ourselves the dynamic duo.
Alrighty.
As part of this collaboration with Dr. George Frazier and Les Brown, we are the only mother-son
Son.
duo out of the 31 collaborators throughout the nation. There are 3 authors who were selected from Michigan, and Lonray M. Lee and I are a mother-son duo.
Awesome. Tell us about how the selection process. How do they go about selecting or choosing the 31 co-authors?
Okay, well, I happened to be in the right place at the right time. Last year, Dr. Frazier was a keynote speaker, and during the Q&A, he did mention that he was working on a project and he was looking for some collaborators. So those who are interested in investing in themselves and in the opportunity would see him about that. And there was a selection process. We had to be interviewed. The stories that they felt were relevant, that would be most relevant to helping others, were selected. And Lonray and I had a story to tell that was selected, thank God.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So tell us, when you were writing your portion of Mission Unstoppable, what inspiration and motivation did you share?
You know, my life has been a roller coaster ride. There have been a lot of heartaches and bumps in the road. There were some smooth areas, but I was going up and down. I tell you, it's been quite an experience. I could talk to others about being involved with a drug abuser, because my second husband was a drug abuser. After I found out about that, I jumped out of that marriage. My first husband was a mental domestic abuser. Okay, so I've gone there, done that. Raising my children alone. We were abandoned. Lonray was, he was about 2 years old when his father walked out. But the point is, there are a lot of children who are being raised in single-parent households. And we as parents not only have the task of raising children who are emotionally balanced, but we also are very often involved in progressing ourselves. Some of us are working on our degrees or
Right.
completing our education. So I do have materials, and I coach people as far as how to overcome adversities and how to well, when it comes to raising your child, how to be successful with your child. Because many of us are working on our own careers
Right.
while raising the children. So it's quite a task. And so I wanted to encourage others. I'm a retired educator now, at least as far as the public school system is concerned. But my mission in life is to influence others. A teacher never knows where her influence stops.
Wow, that's true. What was your process in writing all of this?
Oh my goodness. My process. I'm a Gemini. Oh, what can I say? I walk, eat, sleep, writing. I carry pens, pencils, paper pads. I sleep with a pad next to my bed. I have a tape recorder I carry with me. I mean, I never know when the magic's going to happen, when the Spirit's going to speak, when words will flow, and I have to have something to record it.
Right.
And it's quite exciting because you just never know when it's going to happen.
Right.
I do a lot of research. I read everything. My eyes are magnetized to errors. I can open up a book and an error will just scream out in the middle of a page.
Wow.
So I'm an expert proofreader and editor. I can find everyone else's errors. So that's all a part of it, doing research, pursuing my own passion, because we all have our own interest.
Right.
So I like to write what I know, and then I like to validate what I know, because what I know might just be my perspective. It doesn't have to be right.
Right,
So I'll
that's
do
true.
the research to kind of help to validate it.
Awesome. So tell us, in Mission Unstoppable, can I see one of those so I can
Oh,
show
sure.
our audience? Now, I am noticing that there are different covers. And I noticed that when I kind of checked on Amazon. Tell us why the different covers. This is one of the covers.
Uh-huh. Well, the exciting thing about this, it's a first. The collaborators had an option of getting customized covers. My friends want to see my face on the cover too.
Right.
I mean, it's hard enough to get folks
Right.
to open up a book. But they
Right.
see my face, they'll say, wow, she really is part of this.
Exactly.
So my son, Lonray Lee, M. Lee, has his face on the cover of his book. So we all have our own stash of books, so to speak.
Right.
But if you go on Amazon, you would get the cover that has Les Brown and George Fraser.
Okay. Well, just a reminder, guys, we are here at Truth Bookstore in the Northland Mall. We're in the community room of knowledge here at Truth Bookstore. Now, I am talking with Professor Diane M. Lockett, and we are talking about Mission Unstoppable. What is the premise behind this book?
Well, the entire story is Mission Unstoppable, Extraordinary Stories of Failure's Blessings.
Gotcha.
Now, we have had so many adversities. Each of us has gone through some trials and tribulations in our life. And very often you have to fail before you become a success. It's just a part of becoming a success. So, what was your question again?
What was the premise behind the book?
Okay, so, very often a person will see you at a certain rung on the ladder and they'll say, oh, wow, she is so successful or whatever, or I want to be like her, or I want to be like him. But you don't know what they have gone through, what they have suffered. You even go to psychologist or somebody who does counseling. You don't know what problems they've had to endure to
Right.
get to that point. And that fueled their passion. In my case, I have a passion to empower women, for example, because you can succeed. It doesn't matter what problems you've had or what you're going through. We can make it. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed beg bread. So
Right.
you're talking about Mother Lockett in the church. I can come across that way too, because it took my faith really to bring me through, my faith.
Now, what is your chapter titled in this book?
My chapter is entitled One Bite at a Time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You know, you cannot solve a problem by looking at the whole problem, the whole mass. It's overwhelming. Sometimes you feel like you're dying, you're choking, you're drowning. There's just too much to bear. But if you just look to the hills from whence cometh your help cometh from the Lord, you can take it one bite at a time, one step at a time. How do you build a house? One brick at a time.
What would you share with your readers?
I would share that if you just hold fast to your faith. I wrote something about that.
Can you share it with us? Or?
Well, I'd love to share it. I think that's why I mentioned it.
Right. I got you. I'm right there with you. We are live here, broadcasting live at Truth Bookstore, and I am sitting here talking with Professor Diane M. Lockett, and I am Kaiology, Mann. We're here on UrbanNationRadio.com. We are talking about Mission Unstoppable, Extraordinary Stories of Failure's Blessings. Now, this book is featuring 31 inspiring leaders. So you have in here, you've got Les Brown, you've got Lonray Lee, you've got, of course, Professor Diane M. Lockett, and you also have George Fraser, just to name a few of them. This book is a book of inspiration, right?
It's a book of testimonies, I like to say, because everyone has their story of what they've had to overcome.
What would you say while you're looking for that out, if you can still talk with us? What is your mission in life?
My mission is to empower and to influence others to persevere and to hold fast.
And what does Mission Unstoppable mean for you?
It means not giving up. Don't drop your dream. For example, if you're in a job that you just can't stand, and
been there.
If that's the case, then it's time to make an about face and seek spiritual guidance to find out what is your purpose. And once you have gotten that message as to what you really have a passion for, what you love to do, what is it that you'd like to do, you would skip meals to do it. You'd stay up all night. You would do it for free. That is your passion. That is your calling. And that's what I encourage others to do. Seek out your passion. Find out what your mission is. Find out what's necessary to fulfill that mission. Do you have to get credentials? Do you have to have license? If that's the case, then study to show yourself approved.
Right. So did you find what you were looking for?
I sure did.
Awesome. Please share.
Hold fast and believe. Life for me ain't been no bowl of cherries. There's been times when all alone I felt scared, seemed like no one cared. There were lots of bills and the hills of my life were high with valleys low. I felt homeless with no place to go. Like a man without a country, I was lonely. Faking a smile every day when all the while my heart ached, me pressing on and beyond tired. Trying to make ends meet. You know, playing a game of beat the check, the post-dated check to the bank. Some folks say I thank my lucky stars, but I thank God I have a measure of faith. With no holds barred, I believed I could make it. So I sacrificed and paid the price to be what I could see for me. As a child, I saw teaching. I saw me teaching, me reaching students with my gift, my voice. Yes, I made the choice, and I rejoice in that I have a measure of faith. A measure of faith, knowing that God is no respecter of persons, believing I could step into my destiny, seeing me be the me I was destined to be. Throughout history, men and women achieved what they believed to be their destiny. Some were free to be what others had to flee to be. Some folks think times have changed. In reality, rules of the game were rearranged. Ain't that strange? Because it's not the same for everyone. The difference between rich and poor, they have more. We have to press because we have less. So I struggled, check to check, up to my neck, struggled through adversities and such, never having much, knowing and believing I soon would be achieving my goal. Because the sun would have to shine someday. And come what may, in some way, I'd put this misery behind me. Raising kids alone, needing me a home of my own, this can't last. It should soon come to pass if I just hold fast to my faith. I can make it. I can take it. Sometimes fake it till I make it. So I just held fast to my faith. I just held fast to my measure of faith. And I made it. As long as there's no death, I've got some breath left in my body, there is hope. So I fought, and I thought in my head, and I said, I'm not dead. I can get ahead. If I keep trying, there's no denying nothing beats a try but a failure, but failure can't last if I hold fast, if I just hold fast to what I believe, and I believe I can fly. And I believed that I would, despite my neighborhood, I believed that I would succeed.
Awesome. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with us. We are here talking with Professor Diane M. Lockett. She is one of the co-authors of the book Mission Unstoppable. We thank you so much for coming in and talking with us. Are you, is there any way or how would our listeners be able to contact you?
Okay, they can go to DianeLockett.com, DianeLockett.com. They can go to DetroitWritersGuild.com. They can go to Facebook, Diane M. Lockett. LinkedIn, Diane M. Lockett. Don't forget the M.
Don't forget the M. And we were talking about today Mission Unstoppable. So make sure, where else can we get this book?
Oh, that book can be found not only at Truth Bookstore, at God's World, at the Charles H. Wright Museum, at the Shrine of the Black Madonna, at the Source, and hey, we've got our stairs too.
Awesome.
And you can call me at 313-580-4121.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for stopping in
Thank
and
you.
talking with us about your new book that you're a part of. Awesome. Thank you. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. Do not go anywhere. This is Kaiology Mann on UrbanNationRadio.com. We are broadcasting live in Northland Mall at Truth Bookstore. We'll be right back.
Who's taking your money? Does debt seem to be weighing you down? Bill collectors calling every day? Restless nights?